What if the stories we think we know about the past weren't the whole story? What if the present held moments so bizarre, so fleeting, they barely registered before being captured by a lucky lens? My name is Phil from Rare Real Photos, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're peeling back the layers of time to unearth photographs so rare, so unexpected, they'll make you question everything you thought you knew. Get ready to witness the unbelievable, the forgotten, and the utterly captivating. So you know the drill. Grab a drink, sit back, and let's get right into it. Albert Einstein's matriculation certificate, age 17, 1896. It's a myth that Einstein was bad at math. Einstein tells Robert Oppenheimer about his newest attempts to explain matter in terms of space. Following his birthday festivities at Princeton University, Einstein was on his way to his car when NASA requested a final photograph. Unexpectedly, instead of another smile, Einstein playfully stuck out his tongue. It's said that Einstein enjoyed the image and even wanted 9 personal prints, some of which he signed. In 1934, a Westminster radiological exhibition showcased outdated protective gear alongside a modern X-ray apparatus, highlighting advancements in radiation safety. In 1938 New York, a Colt 38 revolver camera automatically took a picture with each trigger pull, as shown by the 6 photos on the left. 3 plastic humanoid shells filled with sodium chloride solution used for measuring radioactivity. South African archaeologists unearthed 100,000-year-old abalone shells, bones, and stones as toolkits for an ochre compound, marking the earliest known human use of complex compounds and containers. A gladiator's secutor helmet discovered in Pompeii's Ludus Gladiatorius barracks, displayed at the Queensland Museum. This armor belonged to the Italian general Alessandro Farnese, Duke of Parma and Piacenza. This burgonet with a falling buffet, crafted around 1555, features detailed scenes depicting battles between the Lapids and Centaurs. Samurai demon head-shaped helmet with hair, 17th century. Vintage photos from 1850-1900 show female samurai warriors. Beautiful old photo of Meiko during Meiji era, around 1890s to 1910s. On August 14, 1945, Harry Truman announced Japan's surrender at the White House in Washington, D.C. Adolf Hitler's secret bunker, partially burned by retreating German troops and stripped of valuables by invading Russians. Eiffel Tower, start of construction on the 2nd stage, May 1888. The Statue of Liberty in Paris before its disassembly and shipment to New York, 1884. Chicago car park, 1932. A Tokyo delivery boy is captured in this photo. Excellent skills. Bell Labs 1924 two-way radio telephone was the first mobile phone. A photograph documents a bulky 6-pound switchboard device, an early predecessor to the smartphone, circa 1880. A German camper, 1922. Case Study House number 22, built in 1960, represents an early example of modern residential architecture. Dubai in 1990. The construction of the Hoover Dam between 1931 and 1936. Talgo locomotive in Spain, 1942. The first photo following the discovery of Machu Picchu in 1912. In the 1930s, condoms were tested by inflating them with air or water to detect flaws. California lumberjacks historically undertook the perilous task of felling massive redwood trees, often using challenging manual methods. This is what a gym looked like 2 centuries ago in 1831. In 1909, Icarus the Pig, accompanied by John Moore Brabazon, achieved a short flight, making the impossible possible. Herman the Cat was an expert mouser aboard a U.S. Coast Guard ship during World War II. George Washington used this fold-out bed for sleeping during the Revolutionary War. The Saturn V rocket engines were enormous, dwarfing engineer Wernher von Braun. President Jimmy Carter wrote a statement for the Voyager 1 spacecraft, intended for any aliens it might encounter. You may pause to read. Conrad Veidt's 1928 performance in The Man Who Laughs inspired the iconic look of the Joker. Maurice Tillet was a wrestler rumored to be the inspiration for the character Shrek. Paul Kereson's skin permanently turned blue from years of ingesting colloidal silver, and not the inspiration for the Smurfs. Would have caught a plane. Completed in 2008 in Myanmar, the Lake Yun Sekya is the world's 3rd tallest statue at 115.8 meters, 380 feet, depicting a standing Gautama Buddha and accompanied by a 90-meter, 295-foot reclining Buddha. Completed in 1996, the Grand Buddha at Lingshan is an 88-meter or 289 feet bronze statue in Wuxi, China, serving as a serene Buddhist focal point overlooking Lake Tai. Completed in 1991, the Sendai Daikanon is a 100-meter, 328 feet statue in Sendai, Japan, depicting Kannon, the Buddhist goddess of mercy, with an interior elevator to 12 floors of Buddhist deities and scenes. Los Angeles Burger Stand, 1930s. McDonald's menu in 1960. A Taco Bell menu from 1972. Windows on the World, a restaurant complex atop the World Trade Center's North Tower, 1976. Konstantin Melnikov's uniquely designed private residence stands in central Moscow. In 2010, Dai Haifei, 24, lived for 2 months in Beijing in a $1,000 egg-shaped mobile home he built from bamboo and insulated materials. Liu Lingchao walked home from Shenzhen to Ronggun, carrying a self-made portable shelter and collecting garbage for sustenance. Madonna's $8 million 18th century Lisbon Palace blends historic grandeur with modern luxury, featuring extensive amenities and scenic views. Institut Luhusi, nicknamed the School of Kings, is the world's most expensive school, charging up to $157,000 annually for tuition. Elvis Presley's 24K gold leaf grand piano, a gift from Priscilla, sold for $600,000, symbolizing his extravagant life and musical legacy. Amidst Peru's rising COVID-19 death toll, a coffin is prepared for cremation. Amidst Brazil's surging COVID-19 cases, a man walks through a Manaus cemetery. Wuhan rapidly built a hospital to combat the emerging coronavirus outbreak. The airport's departure board reflected travel disruptions during the COVID-19 outbreak. Residents express gratitude to essential workers by banging utensils and clapping from their balconies. Belgian hospital staff lay on the floor during a demonstration for better recognition on International Nursing and Care Day. COVID-19 restrictions sparked unrest, leaving burnt cars and debris obstructing a lamented road. Swiss artist Gary Hofstetter illuminated the Matterhorn with messages of hope during the pandemic. The Milky Way illuminated the night sky above Bamberg Lighthouse. Confetti fills the air as the Carnival Regatta approaches the Rialto Bridge in Venice, Italy. Following France's legislative election, a rally at Le Monument à la République celebrated the left-wing alliance's parliamentary lead amidst a fractured political landscape. Students at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland engaged in the traditional Raisin Monday foam fight on Lower College lawn. Statue of Liberty impersonator bought a hot dog near the Halloween parade. A reveler sported a beer and soda can costume at the Blocco della Tigna street party carnival parade in Madre de Deus. Bear costume performers in Rakova continued a pre-Christian tradition of warding off evil through dance. People celebrated Holi at Glasgow's Rjukan Glen Park. A dog sits amidst the rubble of a collapsed building in Adiyaman, a stark reminder of the devastating earthquakes that ravaged Turkey and Syria. Villagers risk crossing a destroyed bridge over the Siversky Donets River to obtain bread. Search and rescue continues amid collapsed buildings in Hatay following the devastating Turkey-Syria earthquakes. Following a devastating earthquake in Turkey, a family navigates ruins as media outlets face fines for their coverage. Rescuers searched for survivors in Kahramanmaraş's earthquake rubble as Turkey's death toll climbed, with the president acknowledging slow response times. Emergency workers rescued a woman from the rubble of a collapsed building in Elbistan. A fire destroyed nearly 100 migrant homes in Laguna Verde. Rescuers sifted through the wreckage of a collapsed cable car in Italy, the site of a tragic accident that claimed 14 lives. Heavy rains flooded Liege, forcing a woman to navigate a submerged street. Looting occurred near a burning warehouse amid violence following Jacob Zuma's imprisonment. Mount Sinabung volcano erupted as seen from Kuta Rakyat village in Karo. A significant wildfire west of Athens engulfed homes and triggered evacuations as it raged through rough, wooded terrain in the village of Chinos. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket self-destructed during an in-flight abort test, while the Crew Dragon capsule successfully parachuted to the Atlantic Ocean. The Soyuz MS-11 capsule carrying ISS crew members safely landed near Zhezkazgan. The Soyuz MS-13 spacecraft launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The International Space Station captured the launch of a Russian Soyuz rocket. The Event Horizon Telescope captured the first image of a black hole, revealing a halo of dust and gas at the center of the Messier 87 galaxy, 55 million light-years away. On Mars, winter's dry ice transforms into intricate patterns as spring sunlight releases gas and dark sand from dunes. Lapland's winter landscapes with trees encased in ice and snow create otherworldly scenes in sub-zero temperatures. The 1911 winter freeze of Niagara Falls. The Panama Canal under construction was a vast landscape of ongoing excavation and lock building. This is the view of downtown Manhattan from the Empire State Building in 1931, its opening year. Aerial shot of Las Vegas, 1947. Detroit, 1940s. Here's how New York City appeared from space on September 11, 2001. A morning stroll took place on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York in 1905. A hot dog stand, New York City, around 1960. New York Tunnel Police, 1950s. In 2009, all 155 passengers and crew miraculously survived when U.S. Airways Flight 1549 made an emergency landing in the Hudson River after engine failure. Taken 2016, pre-flight photo of Lamia Flight 2933, carrying the Chapecoense football team, tragically crashed. 71 out of 77 lost their lives. A 2023 photo shows newlyweds Samantha Miller and Arik Hutchinson moments before a drunk driver fatally struck their vehicle. Steven Weber's underwater proposal in Tanzania tragically ended in his death before he could resurface. A man desperately attempts to extinguish a burning Christmas tree at a Kowloon Tong Mall. Hong Kong protesters made a daring escape from police siege at the Polytechnic University by rappelling down a bridge to awaiting motorbikes. Abandoned boats rest on the dried lakebed of Poyang, where China will soon enforce a decade-long fishing ban to protect the area. Hundreds of thousands peacefully marched in Hong Kong, demonstrating continued support for the pro-democracy movement amidst ongoing tensions. Animal rights activists protest naked against the use of animal products in textiles. Extinction Rebellion protesters held a demonstration outside Dublin government buildings. Activists erected a sculpture on Lambeth Bridge during London's Extinction Rebellion protest. A statue of a female protester, symbolizing Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement, was erected on Lion Rock. The Arc de Triomphe, recently reopened, displays damage from anti-government protests. Protesters dressed as Maybots stood at Downing Street's entrance as cabinet members left a pre-budget meeting. On Sunday, thousands of children's shoes were placed in Breestraat Square in Leiden, Netherlands, symbolizing the over 17,000 Palestinian children killed in Gaza since October 7, 2023. In Nairobi, Kenya, Christians held a cross with a young man portraying Jesus during a Passion of the Christ reenactment in the Kibera informal settlement. In Seville, Spain, a penitent held his 6-month-old son during a Holy Week procession. In Zamora, Spain, members of the Real Hermandad del Santísimo Cristo de las Injurias Brotherhood knelt before a silence procession. At a political rally in Brikama, Gambia, a performer in a traditional Manding Kankurang mask danced, while 3 journalists were unjustly detained, and 30 peaceful protesters received 3-year jail sentences under President Yahya Jammeh's rule. Philippine actor Soliman Cruz participated in an anti-pollution protest in Manila, observed inside a bubble. Sub-Saharan migrants climbed a metallic fence separating Morocco and the Spanish enclave of Melilla, with many successfully crossing, while others were repelled by police. Numerous individuals arrested and charged in connection with a mass shootout and fight between biker gangs outside the Twin Peaks bar in Waco, Texas. The last prisoners leaving Alcatraz, 1963. In the mid to late 19th century, an execution by cannon took place in Shiraz, Iran. In 1979, following the Iranian Revolution, numerous executions by firing squad, often after summary trials, took place across Iran, targeting individuals associated with the former Shah's regime or those deemed opponents of the new Islamic Republic. A pyramid of German helmets from World War I was erected in New York in 1919. German soldiers preparing to execute a communist militant in Munich, 1919. Hitler and the King of Thailand met in 1934. This is a portrait of young Sir Winston Churchill. Young Princess Elizabeth is depicted in her late teens. Young 16-year-old Princess Elizabeth, 1942. During the platinum party at the palace, the Queen humorously shared cream tea with CGI Paddington Bear at Buckingham Palace, echoing her memorable appearance with James Bond at the 2012 Olympics. Queen Elizabeth II knighted Captain Sir Tom Moore for his extraordinary fundraising efforts for the NHS during the pandemic. Lovers embraced against a misty backdrop of London's Shard and City. Despite localized restrictions imposed after England's initial lockdown easing, a family picnicked by the Angel of the North. A Humboldt penguin was captured in motion during London Zoo's annual animal inventory. Desolation Island in the Crozet Islands is home to millions of breeding pairs across 4 penguin species, including abundant macaroni and king penguins. Snorkelers observe sandbar sharks drawn to the warm water outlet of an Israeli power plant, a unique winter phenomenon. Tourists paddled through a dawn redwood forest in Yangzhou's Luyang Lake Wetland Park. A freediver swam near a large jellyfish off Lebanon's northern coast. Divers in Vladivostok participated in an ice diving class at the Sea Frog Scuba Diving Center, involving theoretical and practical training with dives in open water during both day and night as part of a specialized program. Jonathan Perides cliff dives from a 27-meter platform during the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. Qatari Special Operations personnel performed a military free-fall friendship jump, as shown in this U.S. Defense Department photo. This perfectly timed photo captures an impressive explosion, notable for its visible shockwave that resembles an invisible shield. So, what did you think of those incredible images? Were there any that particularly stood out to you? Let us know in the comments below. It's always fascinating to see which photos resonate the most. If you enjoyed this journey through rare moments in time, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more intriguing content. Thanks for watching. This is Phil from Rare Real Photos. Until next time.